Hello, everyone. Satsangat astrologer here with Satsangat astrology. And I'm back with another video to talk about Chiron in Aries, and especially and specifically this week, Mars will conjunct Chiron in Aries. And so I prepared a PowerPoint presentation. I will share the screen with you. And start talking about Chiron and Mars. So, Chiron in Aries, the wounded healer. So here, if you like my videos, here you have my contact information. I am in Instagram. I am in MeWe, Tumblr. I have my blog at satsangatastrologyblogspot.com. I have a YouTube channel for astrology, and I also teach Kundalini Yoga. And I have a second channel to teach yoga. I was in Facebook, but I changed. So you can still find me on Facebook. I don't post every day anymore. And here is the link for donations if you are so inclined to do that. So today we will address Mars conjunct Chiron, which will happen exactly on July 14th, 2020, but the aspect starts forming already on Saturday, July 11th. So it will last about 5 days, but I would say it is already operative because Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Mars, as soon as he enters Aries, activates Chiron more so because of Mars' presence in the sign, which is is more potent there. So the sign of Aries is more potent because Mars, its ruler, is present there. Therefore, Chiron is already activated by Mars. So I will talk in detail about the wounded warrior. Okay, I'm going to show you also here, let's see if I'm sharing, yeah, here. I want to also share my blog. This is my blog, Satsangat Astrology. And last year in October, I wrote this, the pain of being different, right? And there is a segment here that I am going to read. I wanted to show you the page, so you get familiar with my blog. I have been writing about Chiron for some time already. I wrote a series of Chiron in Aries, and I described it in each house. So you can visit my blog and see according to the house where Aries falls in your chart, and you can see how it behaves. So I wrote extensively about that. I would like to read an excerpt from before I go there, I would like to read an excerpt from this post here It is Mars opposite Chiron on October 8th last year. So we are now completing the cycle, right? In October, there was the opposition, and this is what I wrote about it. Around the world, people have been protesting for the right to be, for the right to exist, for the right to express themselves and their bodies to occupy a space, right? Considering the rest of the astrological chart these days, we can expect not only those protests to continue, but the situation to heat up a notch or two. As the ruler of Chiron, Mars, opposition can be aggressive, to say the least. And in any case, we may see the wounded warrior in many places. So in that occasion, Mars and Chiron were squaring the nodes of the moon, which were at that time in Cancer and Capricorn. Right now, we don't have that. But it is interesting that I wrote, as the nodal axis continues its backward motion, the Mars-Chiron axis opposition squares it as well. So not only will those protesters be more determined and assertive defending their rights and need to be recognized and seen and validated, right, as different or unique as they might be considered, but they will demand a change from the establishment, Capricorn, that denies them the safety, shelter, food, and the physical space in the world they ask for, Cancer, right? So, I said in our personal lives, we may encounter a person or a situation that intentionally or not stirs our deepest chironic wound and throws us into an emotional breakdown. Then our conflict will be against our own outdated psychological structures, Capricorn, that don't allow us to accept, nurture, and love ourselves as we are, Cancer. However, we can use this opportunity to sit with the suffering and study it intentionally, asking what it is, why it hurts, where it comes from. Then we may find the way out and the eventual healing process can be initiated. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. And this is another post from another post called The Pain of Being. It says what I wrote: one may feel deeply inside that has no right to exist and try to be invisible, or on the other hand, spend all the energy trying to prove that one exists. There is a deep anguish from feeling that one's existence, actions, and desires are not acceptable or validated or recognized. Feelings of disempowerment, impotence, frustration, suppressed anger, even passive aggression are common. So, and this is the post, let me share again, because this is the part where I describe the pain of being. What is it that Chiron in Aries means in general? So I wrote extensively about it with much more information. So I suggest you visit my blog and read a lot more about Chiron than what I can say here tonight. So I will put the links in the description box below, so you can access those blog posts. Okay, so here is the chart for July 14th, and we have Mars and Chiron at 9 degrees 26 seconds of Aries, squaring Mercury. So you probably have already noticed how heated conversations and arguments there are around the world, and everywhere you turn, people are fighting, opposing arguments and opposing ideas. It is a soup for heated conflict and even aggression or violence, right? So hopefully not. In any case, there are also opposing ideas and information in the news, right? And people are fighting for their beliefs at the moment and for what they think is true. And also for the right to think and express themselves as they please, which is also another trait of Aries, right? I say what I like, and I don't care if you like it or not. So Aries is impulsive in general in action and words, sometimes blunt. Okay, so let's talk about let's go back here. I'm going to then explain what Chiron in Aries in conjunction with Mars means, because this can, for example, a person can wound someone else or other people by destructive Martian expression. And it could be a battle that we feel that cannot win. You know, there is also fear of the destruction of the self, or fear of self-destruction, right? Because Aries is the sign where we enter life, right? We reclaim the right to exist. And so with Chiron there, it could be a suppression of our right to exist, right? As we have seen in the movements, right, of Black Lives Matters and other groups that are claiming their rights. I mean, workers that are losing their jobs and are walking the streets, claiming that they are that their jobs are maintained. So around the world, we see this kind of self-assertion in order to defend the right to exist, the right to things, right? It could be their culture or their jobs, but at the same time, there is there could be a suppression of our willpower and assertion because of Chiron, and also suppression of a positive and healthy expression of anger. So people are, instead of, because things are so heated with a square to Mercury, then people are going to extremes of aggression and even violence. And it's because of this clash also with the institutions here in Capricorn, the conventions of society, right? The traditions of society, and also institutional beliefs and ideologies and that are so strong with the conjunction of Jupiter and Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. This is a strength in conventions, strength in authoritative institutions of society, political, and even economic, right? Pluto represents the economy as well, and the resources of the world to which many people don't have access. So the protests and the claims are authentic. They are essential. So there is a feeling that people are not able to protect their existence. They're afraid of conflict and confrontation. I mean, we can see with heated conversations and conflicts, we can see that confrontation and aggression is possible and sometimes unavoidable. So, but there is a tendency to suppress that anger, and then the person becomes frustrated and even depressed. There is also the possibility of becoming a victim because of the repression of the anger, and instead receive aggression from others, because we have the tendency to, instead of being ourselves the aggressive agent, then we tend to project on other people our own aggression. And sometimes, for example, by projecting, what we can do is teasing other people, or making an ignition comment that will start a fire, you know, not or provoking, not being aggressive, but provoking others to be aggressive. And so there is a fear of unleash that anger because it's so strong. Mars in Aries is very strong, and we'll see it even stronger later when it goes after the 15th degree and starts squaring those 3 planets in Capricorn. It could be very, very powerful, especially because Mars will conjunct Aries, his sister, in the goddess of discord at 23 degrees of Aries. And that will be a very, very dangerous place, dangerous moment. So, as I said, people can be poking others to manifest the anger that they cannot express. And so, for example, they can try to hurt other people's self-confidence, so the other person is defensive and attacks. So those are different psychological mechanisms that this conjunction of Aries in Aries of Mars and Chiron can be experienced. So we project our disempowerment, and apparently we make the other person reflect to us our own disempowerment and impotency, powerlessness. So in order to control the situation, for example, we may omit doing something like, oh, I forgot, I didn't realize I had to do that. Or for example, not making decisions, or being compulsively doing things to evade, doing other things to evade or escape the real issue, right? So there could be a lot of passive aggression, annoying other people, provoking others, and having this feeling of resentment, right? Oh, I don't have the right to be, or I am not accepted, I am not validated, my identity doesn't count, etc. So on the other hand, other people could act impulsively and much assertively without caring for hurting the feelings of others. So when people choose to have a certain degree of controlled aggression, it could manifest, for example, as a physical activity requiring a lot of effort. Or, for example, placate heated situations without expressing what we have to say. Or, for example, on the contrary, say something to ignite the anger in another person. So, in fact, repressing the anger may make you sick. For example, muscle aches, right? The muscles are ruled by Mars. It could be muscle ache or weakness. Fever also is ruled by the head, is ruled by Mars. So you may experience headaches, anemia, right? Because Mars rules the blood. You can experience anemia or another blood problem. And also you can have stress-related symptoms linked to, for example, adrenal dysfunction or kidney problems, kidney stones, or some kind of kidney problems, because the kidneys store the fear and anger. So at another level, however, we can get busy challenging the anger through working to resolve the conflict. That will be a healthy way to use this energy, right? To recognize there is a hurt, there is a pain, there is a wound of our identity, and then work and do something to remediate it. So the saying, if you don't want to be part of the problem, then be part of the solution, right? So the danger, though, is to have uncontrolled aggression that wants to instigate conflict at all costs, and even bloodshed, because the person or people feel no right to exist, or that they have been disempowered and they don't have the right to express themselves or to be themselves, and to occupy a space, to occupy a time or a situation, to be someplace, to be and to do what they have to do, right? So it's very important to recognize ways of recognize, first of all, why we are angry, and then recognize ways to healthful or healthy express our anger in a way that is constructive, right? Because Mars is a force that is our actions, and it could be assertive, it could be destructive, but it can also be constructive, right? For example, it rules, Mars rules heavy machinery. And right now in my neighborhood, there is a place where they are working and opening a street. They're using several heavy machinery. And by this, I want to say that Mars could be constructive as well. In fact, it rules construction. So I'm going to talk about how to heal this this conjunction, this problem, because it's going to be in effect for a while. And I think all the 6 months that Mars is in Aries, even though it's not conjunct Chiron all the time, but the presence of Mars in Aries, it's like a powerhouse that will give more power to Chiron. So we will feel this wound for about 6 months. So we need to have some tools in order to survive, and in order to apply healing to this process. So I also wrote this article. Let me share with you this blog article that is called The Healing Journey. I describe all the ways Chiron learned and taught how to heal, because he was a shaman, he was an astrologer, he was a healer, alchemist, and other things. You know, he was a teacher of archery, and he was a practitioner of many science. In fact, he was the teacher of the most famous doctors of the Greek, the early Greek traditional medicine. So I wrote extensively about the Chiron healing methods here. So, and one of the things that I wrote was having a clear understanding of Chiron interaction and action in the sector Aries occupies in your chart can help you use his energy consciously and live the related circumstances mindfully. So if you would like to know where in your chart this conjunction falls, or where Aries is in your chart, don't hesitate to order a reading with me. I will gladly read it for you. And you can make comments under the video and ask questions. I will gladly answer them. So also I said the experiences that we perceive as negative and sometimes catastrophic are wake-up calls and shakers that attempt to move us in the right direction and into harmony with the source of all. In the end, Chiron is a force of individuation and also of spiritual, is the agent of our spiritual journey. By recognizing the wound, we can heal it. Chiron should always be attended with an alternative approach and healing methods. Chiron uses his own wound as a healing method. And I describe extensively in this post, The Healing Journey, I describe extensively all the methods that he had used in order to heal himself. Every disease or imbalance has its source in a spiritual imbalance or disconnection. So this is a very profound truth. You know, we are not only a body, but we are a whole being composed of physical, emotional, psychological, and intellectual abilities. So what happens is that when one of those is out of balance, then the whole being is out of balance. That's why we become sick. We become sick when we have an emotional problem or a psychological problem. Some people with love problems, for example, can have a heart attack, and so on. So here you see a picture of Chiron teaching his science to different students. Let me also quote, I have a book by Thich Nhat Hanh here. It's called How to Love. And he has a very wise, as usual, a very wise advice. And he talks about conscious breathing. He says, conscious breathing helps us develop the ability to stop at that crucial moment to keep ourselves from saying or doing something we regret later. Everyone knows that blaming and arguing never helps, but we forget. So practice conscious breathing when things are going well, then it will be there for you when things get hard. Okay, so next, these are chironic methods of healing. Herbal therapy, flower essences. I also work with back flower essences, and you can have a consultation with me if you're interested. Naturopathy, hypnotherapy, astrology, energy work. I am an energy healer as well. So if you're interested, I can work with you one-on-one. And it's not necessary to be in person. We can do it through the phone or through chat, video, Zoom. So water therapy. And this is something interesting because Aries is a fire sign. And with water, we can calm the fire, right? So try, for example, having feet washes or walking in the beach if you are close to a beach, walking in the water, or even if you don't have access to water in nature, you can use your tub and have a bath and soak in the bath with salts and with you know, bubbles, whatever you like, to calm the fire a little bit. So homeopathy, shamanic journeying, past life regression, all those are alternative ways that Chiron learned and taught and used in his lifetime. Meditation of any kind, it is advisable in order to keep neutral mind, and to be objective and not judgmental, and to see both parts of the conflict as valid pieces. Pranayama or breath work, as I said, conscious breathing. I have several videos on pranayama and different breathing techniques in my yoga YouTube channel, which is Sat Sangat Kar Yoga. And there is a link also in the description box below. Mantra chanting. I have experienced wonderful healing through chanting mantra. In fact, I was healed of a certain imbalance in my body through chanting mantra for 90 days for 31 minutes every day. Swara yoga. Swara yoga is rebalancing the nostril predominance breathing, because we have each nostril will predominate for about 2 hours or so. So when you wake up at night, for example, and you can't go back to sleep, check which nostril is predominantly breathing at that time, and you'll find out that usually is the right, which is energizing. So in order to do that, you can do conscious breathing and start changing the predominance to the left, which will make you relax, is related to the parasympathetic nervous system. So it will relax you and get you back to sleep. Transcendental meditation or other techniques are vipassana, mindfulness, tree hugging, okay, walking in nature. That is very interesting because the prana in nature balances our neutral mind. And breath walk. So all these techniques I practice. So if you're interested in any of those, including the Kundalini yoga tradition, I can teach you any of those. I teach yoga classes as well, and so I offer helping you if your Mars and Chiron are out of whack in your chart. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe please to my channel, make comments and ask questions. Please like the videos if you like them, and share them with your friends or some people who may need or benefit from this message. And contact me for a reading. So there is more information in the box below. So for now, goodbye and see you next time. Sat Nam.